Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A with us, the British Fist.
Judging.
Ah, yeah, Mr. Parkin, and then this guy sitting next to me is none other than AJ, people.
What's up?
What's up, Tony? Welcome to another Q&A, like we said. This is Q&A number 98. In this Q&A, we'll be addressing the relevant WrestleMania questions that we haven't answered yet, the post-Raw WrestleMania questions we haven't answered yet, and the Hall of Fame questions we haven't answered yet, as long as continuing on with our usual Q&As. We're just trying to get rid of some of the dead questions that we have right now that we could probably answer now. Unfortunately, that's what happens when we do the Q&As like we do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Subscribe to us, please. Like this video and comment your thoughts down in the comment section below on some of the questions we've answered.
And make sure you contact us in the links in the description box below.
And also, don't hesitate to keep sending us in questions. We have about, 15, 14, 13 pages of questions to get through. So why not add some more to the list, guys, so we can continuously be doing these Q&As.
Because the way I see it, we can make up any questions we want and ask each other the questions, but it won't be fun because we're not very interactive. So please, people, next time you send in questions, at least send in 3 each. Thank you.
Or 1 if you wish, it doesn't matter. The first question comes from Crew5150 Temar. Do you think WWE will be watchable again after WrestleMania? It all depends on whether WWE can give us something new and innovative, really, doesn't it?
Well, at the minute, following WrestleMania, we've had John Cena become champion once again, which is a big slap in the face to the fans that wanted something different. So it all depends on what happens once Cena, or when Cena, loses that championship, which would be a good start.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the product does revolve around John Cena, so something interesting to do with John Cena, maybe a little bit of a character change, would help things, but I think the mid-card needs to improve as well in order for me to watch post-Raws after WrestleMania. Really don't know at this point. We saw the direction WWE are going, and we need to see a bit more as to what they're going to be doing, whether or not it'll be watchable. I think Raw has been unwatchable for ever since the 3-hour format started, but there we go. D-Men112. This is a question to do with WrestleMania, but we can answer it still. Who will compete for the #1 contender for the Intercontinental and US Champion to maybe go to WrestleMania? Well, it turned out that the Barrett IC Championship was on the pre-show, and the US Champion didn't even have a match. But if we were given the choice, who would we have them face?
Okay, well, with the Intercontinental non-pre-show, Miz would have been the right choice if it weren't done really before. After Cesaro, if Christian came back, I think that feud was uncompleted. If I had to pick another one, I would probably give it to someone probably a bit different. I would give it to, if the feud was built up, someone completely different, so that we would like to see an Alex Riley.
Miz and Barrett was fine, and Cesaro and Christian, that would have been my other one. Crunchy Taco 117. Do you think that Cena will turn heel? After watching the 325 Raw, do you think The Rock will retain, or is he guaranteed that Cena will become the new champion? I'll say this, even though it's happened, you knew going in Cena wasn't going to turn heel. You knew going in that Cena was going to win. So it was really, we all kind of knew what was going to happen anyway. I would have given the exact same answer now than I did really, even if we did the question before WrestleMania.
Because there was no real hint that Cena was turning heel. He lost to Rock last year. That could have upset him big time for a whole year, but it didn't really. He has to make all these weird stories of how it didn't work. Rock winning, yes, it would have been to give Cena a boost to turn heel, but obviously WWE cared too much about Cena as a face.
Ryan Daniels, this is an interesting one. Would you have gone to WrestleMania 29 if you lived relatively close? I asked because I'm going this year, and the way everyone is talking again, I'm almost starting to question if I should sell my tickets or not. Well, sorry we couldn't give you advice before WrestleMania 29, but to be honest with you, I mean, to be honest, going to WrestleMania is something that we should do. So I think that if we lived relatively close, even if it wasn't going to be the best WrestleMania, I probably still would have gone.
There are many reasons why, no matter what WrestleMania, no matter what the card is, I would have gone. Number one, it being WrestleMania, and two, it's getting closer and closer to when we're probably going to be losing The Undertaker due to retirement. And obviously, to be there to watch one of his final matches would be a big deal. And plus, there's always big matches at Mania. And to be a part of them somehow, big thing.
Not just that, but the atmosphere and the furore surrounding WrestleMania as well is one of the reasons why you'd want to be there. Gaming Legend 1997. Will Undertaker break kayfabe when he goes into the Hall of Fame? Well, most wrestlers don't really have the problem with Taker, because Taker's been pretty much in his character whenever we've seen him. So it'll be something special. I mean, we've never really seen him in kayfabe before. Why not do it at the Hall of Fame when Mark Calloway is going to be appreciated for the work that he's done for the company?
I think we've had other wrestlers in the past who have came in, not in Hall of Fame, but more into wrestling itself and said, I'm not talking as my character, I'm talking as myself. And I think for it to be done in more of a bigger schedule like WrestleMania / Hall of Fame, and for the Undertaker to do it, to speak about the company itself, I think it sounds like something Taker should do, but for Taker fans, one last time, maybe he'll still be the Undertaker going into the Hall of Fame.
iRod4545. Do you think WWE will get the message now about the way they book their shows after what happened or what they experienced on the Raw after WrestleMania 29 and just brush it off and pretend it didn't happen? Knowing Vince McMahon, they'll probably just brush it off. And to be honest with you, I can sort of understand why. It was a very specific crowd. Not all crowds they're going to go to are going to boo the faces and cheer the heels and then react like they did. So I think it's a case of maybe they should just pretend it never happened, to be honest.
The sad thing is, when it comes to companies or knowing what to do next, it all really does depend on crowd reaction, what the crowd should chant. Like, if they start chanting, Cena sucks, maybe that's a represented turn him heel. If they start saying, if they start cheering a certain wrestler, a face turn, stuff like that. So it makes sense to listen to the crowd, but with Vince McMahon, we've seen many times in the past, he has his own creative ideas, so it's more Vince McMahon's always going to stick his own mind.
And let's face it, Vince McMahon has been in this business and has made WWE into a corporate, entity. So, at the same, you could argue, should he really listen to fans sometimes? I'm just, just putting it out there.
My biggest thing is, yes, he should listen to the fans, because when he listens to his own ideas, 3-hour Raw, great idea. Sticking to Cena being a face, because sooner or later he's going to get the cheers he needs. Yeah, so to be honest, I don't think Vince listening to himself is working anymore.
View Hall for hire. Well, we already have you, so we don't need to hire you, brother. What would be worse for Ziggler, having a short title reign or getting cashed in on by a Money in the Bank winner who holds the Money in the Bank for shorter than he did? Definitely own a short title reign. He needs a long title reign out of this if they're going to legitimize him after his terrible booking.
If we look past his old title reign, which he was given it, lost it, I think Ziggler and the fan base he has behind him, the future he could have, he needs a long reign with it.
The Extreme Wolfpack. What was more of a disappointment, WrestleMania 29 or Lockdown? Well, we didn't have much expectations going into each. WrestleMania 29 looked like a good card in my opinion. Lockdown was disappointing, but we still had that big moment at the end, which kind of changed the landscape of TNA. So I would say personally, it was WrestleMania 29. Although I can understand why people were very disappointed by Lockdown.
I'm saying Lockdown. To be honest, WrestleMania, yes, it had that main event that we knew what was coming, but the fact we knew what was coming, we could accept it, or sometimes could accept it. We still had all these big matches, the 3 main event matches, and with Lockdown, I really didn't like it.
No, I guess the way I look at it is WrestleMania 29, you had John Cena winning the belt back. The landscape in WWE hasn't really changed for the better, whereas after Lockdown, in my opinion, after the Bully Ray reveal, the TNA landscape and product and direction has gotten a hell of a lot better, which is one of the reasons why I say Lockdown, which is one of the reasons why I say WrestleMania 29, sorry. Sweet Latte 18, if Rock doesn't wrestle anymore after his injury at WrestleMania 29, would you put him in the Hall of Fame next year? Why not? Fuck it, why not?
I think with The Rock, that's the whole thing. If he's not going to wrestle, because I think he's going on till WrestleMania 30, I think he's got another year in him. He's been teased to. I think after WrestleMania 30, just to tweak your question a little bit, I'd say to guarantee he's not going to come back, or maybe come back many years down the line, I'd say he's definitely worthy of the Hall of Fame.
How long do you think Ziggler is going to keep the World Heavyweight Championship? This is after he's cashed it in. I'd say a couple of months, maybe 3, maybe 4 months max. I don't see him having a long title reign, personally.
I say with him being the World Heavyweight Champion, a different name on SmackDown to hold the championship, it would be good if he finds all these creative ways to hold on that belt for a long period of time. So I say give him a few months, but give some surprises on how long he keeps it and in different situations.
To be honest, the way he's been booked, you'll be surprised if he beats anyone really right now. And what chance would you have started if he was in the Raw crowd after WrestleMania 29? British Fist. British Fist. British Fist. Definitely would have started that one. Mm-hmm. If CM Punk ended the streak, how would you have booked him to get the best use out of him? Well, he didn't end the streak, but if he did end the streak. If he did end the streak, you'd have to make him into one of the top guys and a massive deal. You would have to.
I think with him, I think you could definitely use that because we know how good his mic work and all this stuff. I'd definitely use that against all the other wrestlers, like against Triple H, against Edge, Batista, and all the other big names, Shawn Michaels, and John Cena, who never got the chance to actually do it. So I think, to be honest, I'd definitely use CM Punk to prove that he is best in the world. He is the guy that is the best in the company as well. So I'd definitely push that to the limit.
So would I. Philly Boy London, do you think the cold weather affected the crowd at WrestleMania 29? Yes. I think it was about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It was pretty cold out there, and they were hot for that CM Punk Undertaker match, but afterwards the crowd died. I think that the weather and the fact that it was outdoors was definitely something to do with the fact the crowd weren't making as much noise as they maybe.
There's been many reports saying that the cold weather did affect many crowds when they left the arena, left the event. But obviously, what were the WWE expecting? Yes, they checked the weather forecast beforehand. With this bright idea, using an outside event, outside stadium, I don't know what they were expecting. So yes, I think when the crowd were getting too cold, their concentration was more on how they're feeling than the pay-per-view.
Exactly, which is why the crowd came off as quite dead in the last two matches, in my opinion. Scott Wilde, do you think now after WrestleMania's Raw show, the WWE are going to have Ryback defeat Cena at Extreme Rules or a bigger pay-per-view later in the year to win the belt? So the next big guy can take over from the heavily booed stale Cena, or is it Ryback, or is it a Ryback filler feud? It's hard to say right there at this moment. If Ryback loses at Extreme Rules, that would be almost a year since he's won a pay-per-view match. I think the last time he won a pay-per-view match was July, which was Money in the Bank, or was it June that was Money in the Bank? So Ryback, if anyone, needed a win. I mean, Christ.
Sadly, I'm going to stick up for, because both characters I'm not really fond of. Obviously, I'm more fond of Ryback than Cena, but when it comes to Ryback's first match against John Cena at pay-per-view and Ryback wins. Okay, I think you don't really expect that from John Cena. I think John Cena will get the first win just because he's Cena. But I had many discussions about this. Is that who else is there that could face John Cena, beat John Cena? He hasn't faced someone different, someone that could probably beat Cena. And it's all adding up to Ryback being one of the not so many wrestlers left. So I'd say if your plan is to take the belt off Cena, Extreme Rules could be a bit early, but it needs to happen sooner or later.
Ryback's the man. I mean, who else can you have Cena lose to that would be believable at this point? I mean, he's beaten The Rock. So the only other person, in my opinion, right now that's believable is Ryback, even though he's lost every pay-per-view match he's been on since Money in the Bank. I'm just saying.
I wish I could say The Undertaker.
Yeah, but he ain't there, is he? What do you think? Who do you think will be in the Hall of Fame class 2014? Definitely Paul Bearer. He'll be in the Hall of Fame, I think.
This is 2014.
Next year.
The night before WrestleMania 30. So I'll say this could be the chance to put Rock in.
Could be the chance to put Undertaker in. As well as Paul Bearer.
If he's going to be finishing soon, yes. So I'd say Rock, Undertaker / Paul Bearer.
What about I know they might do it Macho Man or an Owen Hart or something like that.
I think Triple H needs to tweak a few more names that have been long overdue to be put in. I think, I'm not thinking of any celebs. Apart from Charlie Sheen.
What about Mr. T? He'd be a good person in the Hall of Fame, I think, for the celebrity wing. It was very important in starting off the WrestleMania revolution with his partnership with Hulk Hogan. So he would be in there. That's pretty much where we would go with that. Howard the Man. Could you? We're continuing normal questions now. We've addressed all the ones that we did before. Could you see women from UFC in the WWE since the Divas division is dying at this moment? Why would they want to bring in UFC women into the WWE? The Divas division dying.
That's the thing. You could bring in anyone who you want. A non-part of this question is someone's waiting for Paige to come in. But I'm thinking, no matter who you bring in, it may fix the Diva division for a month or two, but then it's going to go flat again. They're not really paying the attention that it should be to Diva division. So bringing UFC women, see them for about 2 months, then.
Exactly. If they can't make a star out of Awesome Kong, then they pretty much can't make a star out of any woman. Which WrestleMania match in the past would you have liked to see a rematch? Ooh, Rock and Hogan.
Triple H, Undertaker.
Rock and Hogan, in my opinion. I'm just saying. Who will induct Undertaker into the Hall of Fame? Before his death, I would have said Paul Bearer. Now it would probably be like Kane or something like that, maybe, or Glenn Jacobs.
The ones to put in is obviously Paul Bearer, but obviously cannot do it that way. So I think the only one that's represented by him is obviously Kane.
Yeah, Andrew Harris. From any era of wrestling, choose 4 face wrestlers and 4 heel wrestlers to face off in a tag team match. What era are you going for? I might do a different era.
Any 4...
Any 4 face wrestlers and any 4 heel wrestlers to face off in a tag match, like a sort of dream tag match for an era.
I guess I'll go in now.
Go on.
Oh, I'm going to use in a tag match. I would like to say I'll have Triple H, CM Punk, and then I'm going to go with Wade Barrett and flip 4 faces
and 4 heels. 4 faces versus 4 heels.
Okay, I need one more heel.
Yeah.
I'll go with another heel. I'll go with Randy Orton's a heel.
And the 4 face wrestlers. Okay, I'll do this. John Cena, Ryback, Sheamus, and Alex Riley. Fuck it, we'll put him in there and get him a rub. Keg of meat. If you could choose a wrestler to come from any country in the world, which race would the wrestler be? I personally think WWE need an Indian star or an Asian star or something like that. That's what I think they need. So because there's so many people in Asia that they can appeal to if they make some kind of Asian Indian star of some kind. That's what I'd do. What would you do?
I'd say, yeah, I'll try to think of something different, but obviously, I was about to say a better British, but I'll go with what you said. Yeah.
Well, we could have some better British talent, but definitely. I mean, Wade Barrett, I just doubt whether he's ever going to win the world title now. Mr. Killer Relic 2008, what are your favourite best TNA stables or factions of all time? He says that his is Team Canada, Main Event Mafia, Latin American Exchange, World Elite, and Sports Entertainment Extreme. Well, we have Fortune, I liked.
Stables.
Yeah.
In fact, that's the thing. I didn't start that much when they were around. So Ace and Eight. Now.
All right. Well, I'll say Fortune. I always liked Fortune. Team America was definitely Team Canada. Sorry, not Team America. That was definitely good. Main Event Mafia, decent. Can't really think of any others though, unfortunately. Tuamus 16 Crow. Take out the part-time guys. Triple H, Taker, Lesnar, Rock, and Austin, even though he's not active at all. What would you have as your WrestleMania 30 main event? Without any
Why
of those
are you taking
guys.
Austin when he's probably teased to be there?
Well, I think the whole point of this question is to try and pick 2 current guys that could main event a WrestleMania. And the only 2 I think could main event a WrestleMania are CM Punk and John Cena. And unfortunately, we've seen that match already. The other one would have been Cena and Ryback. We're going to see that soon. So I think you can't really have a WrestleMania main event without any of those guys, really, can you? That's actually going to draw money.
WrestleMania 30 next year, so we've got a whole year to build up a new star. We're at the start of. If obviously the booking is going to struggle this year, is Wade Barrett was the World Heavyweight Champion.
And that's going to get you about 300,000 buy rates.
That's correct. That's what I want.
Unfortunately.
That's what I want.
Tommy Sorensen, what is your favourite shoot style promo and storyline angle? My favourite storyline angle would have been the invasion angle until they actually did it. The shoot style promo, the ECW stuff they did was pretty good. You know, you're a CM Punk style. You like that? That
was definitely the way. The way that, again, he went down the route that every fan wanted to hear someone say, and CM Punk ripped it and did it. I think that definitely gave a high buzz to all the fans that were wanting it to be said.
Zachary Duffy, who are your 5 favourites on the mic and in the ring? And also, if you could take 2 people from the IWC in a tag team match, who would it be? So, 5 favourites on the mic and 5 favourites in the ring. Well, 5 favourites on the mic. CM Punk, Austin Aries, James Storm,
Bully Ray,
Bobby Roode, and Bully Ray. Yeah, those would be my favourite. And in the ring, Dolph Ziggler is definitely one. CM Punk is definitely one. Austin Aries is definitely one. Once again, Bobby Roode. And also AJ Styles. I'd say those 5 for me.
5 in the ring, because the mic works pretty much identical.
Yeah.
In the ring, I'm going to say CM Punk Ziggler, obviously, because I do enjoy Ziggler's performance. I'd say I've always enjoyed when Triple H was the heel, when he would just do everything in the ring. I enjoy seeing Austin Aries, yes, and I'd say for my 5th, Bobby Roode. I was about to say Kane.
Sam Pearson, which WWE wrestler, present or past, do you think their title push came out of nowhere? JBL. That kind of came out of nowhere, didn't it? He went from Jeff Bradshaw to JBL, and then he had the longest reigning SmackDown World Championship. So that kind of it was a new character, but it did kind of come out of nowhere. No one really thought JBL was going to be champion in 2005, did they?
No. Which should be wrestler present or past?
Jack Swagger. That was another random ass one. Sheamus was another random one as well.
Some of John Cena's.
Mr. TNA 2005. Who, in your opinion, is the best wrestling manager from 2000 to 2013? For me, it's either James Mitchell or Scott D'Amore. Paul Heyman. I think you'll find it's Paul Heyman.
Manager, best wrestling manager from 2000 is Eric Bischoff.
Who did he manage?
He managed everyone.
When TNA goes to San Francisco, you know that Daniels and Kaz will be dressed like the Ravens. Which star shirts should they be wearing? I don't know. I don't watch that, unfortunately. If Kaz and Daniels are the commentary team for one TNA show, Miss Tetchmark the interviewer, Velvet Sky the secretary dressed TM, Austin Aries the announcer, Bobby Roode the timekeeper, and one of the Blossom twins as a referee, how will the show feel? Very, very odd.
You're going to have the greatest mic workers there, always cutting, ripping into people, doing great, awesome stuff. You have Miss Tess, okay.
Good to look at.
Okay. Austin Aries, there we go again. Bobby Roode, you know, he's great. He's going to do all these cheap things. I think you've got a good roundup there.
Although they probably wouldn't be able to go in the ring. That's just unfortunate, because that's where I like to watch them. Did you see Free Live Crew in TNA? No, don't remember that, unfortunately. That wasn't Ron Killings, was it? I can't remember who that was. Who would win a Mania match between Roode, managed by Triple H, and Storm, managed by HBK? Oh, I'm going to say Storm. I know you're going to say Roode. This is like the ultimate argument between us two, isn't it? Who's better, Roode versus Storm?
Because Triple H would make sure that, you know, he gets the last laugh.
HBK is Mr. WrestleMania. How could you not have Storm win the match? Anyway, that's the end of this Q&A. Sure thing, me and NJ will keep arguing that question, Mr. TNA 2005. That has been it from another Q&A with us, the British Fest. Please keep giving us your questions, even though we have loads, down in the comment section below, or by inboxing us, Facebooking or Twittering us down in the comment description box below. And yeah, NJ, you go.
Thank you very much for watching, people. This has been another Q&A that we've enjoyed answering. Please keep the questions coming, and we'll keep the answers going. And until next time, YouTubers, thank you very much and goodbye.